in June. And for more on the US men's national team, it's a real pleasure to have US men's national team interim manager Anthony Hudson joining us now. Anthony, it's so good to see you. First of all, how are you? And how's the team doing ahead of tomorrow's match?
I'm doing really well, thank you. It's been it's a short camp, but it's been good so far.
Love to hear that. This is a young group. It's a largely MLS-based crew, isn't it? What are you looking to get out of this meeting? Because we know that these two teams are going to meet again in a couple of months' time with much more on the line.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, being outside of a window, it's heavily based with MLS players. But again, I've said this before, we have a very, very strong and deep pool, and we have a good group with us. And look, this is like no other game. It's our biggest rival. So the objective for us is very clear. We want to go into this game. We want to perform and we want to win, and we want to embrace this game tomorrow night.
Yeah, now, Anthony, no manager would ever ask for less time with his team, but you've got the exact opposite problem. You've got a very, very limited window with which to contact these players, to train with them. What do you do in this tiny period of time that you have them? What do you focus on most? What can you do?
Yeah, look, it's interesting because I think that as coaches, our natural desire, especially being away from the team for so long, is we want to do so much with them. We want to improve certain areas and work on lots of different things, and we feel we can get the team playing in a certain way that might cause them problems. But we've really focused on keeping things very simple. We've got a very clear game plan. We've been doing this for a while now, and I think, and then on top of that, it's making it clear, making it simple for the players, making them feel good, and then the biggest thing I think psychologically is making sure we go into the game knowing exactly what we're going to expect, but also knowing what we're going to bring to the game.
As we mentioned, this is a largely MLS-based roster with the exception of a couple, including Sergino, who hasn't really had many playing minutes over in Italy with Milan. What have you made of what you've seen from him so far, and how important does that make this short window for him looking ahead at what's to come internationally?
Yeah, it's one look. This situation, we're grateful to the club for allowing him to come. It helps us because we get a top quality player, and it helps him as well. And I think the good thing is about Sergino, I think he's been really good recently. He's had, I think he had a great World Cup. He did well in the last window for us. He's great around camp. And we're really, really glad that he has decided outside of a window that he wants to come and help the team.
You know, Anthony, obviously the U.S.-Mexico rivalry is a huge one, and in the last few years, it's gone the way of the U.S. How have you seen it kind of grow and take shape over the years?
Well, I have to say the last cycle was incredible, really, winning 2 finals. Obviously, you know, in the qualifiers doing well against them, and then in the World Cup going, you know, we did well in the World Cup by going far. These games, I think, you know, everything in the past goes out the window, and it's all about this game tomorrow night, and it's going to be whichever team, you know, ultimately the old cliche, whichever team is at their very best and keeps going right to the end. And I dare to say wants it more. I mean, it's such a cliche, but it really is, and it's such an intense game. And but the past goes out of the window. It means nothing. We're looking forward. We're looking at this group. We're focused on this group, and we're focused on tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I'm sure it won't be very long until we're all looking ahead to that Nations League match as well that's coming up. Every window feels so unique for you in terms of, you know, what players you're able to bring in, who's on the roster. When we've had US players on in the past, it's interesting to hear what they've been doing on their downtime, playing fantasy football, playing ping pong with each other. What have you guys been up to while you haven't been training? How's the group really gelling together this time around?
Well, we would like to be doing a little bit more with them, but we only have a couple of days. So we tried as a staff to carve a little bit of time out for the players just to really look. It's busy. It's tough for the players. They've had games at the weekend. They've flown in from different places. And it's important from our side that we don't overload them with loads and loads of information and bombard them with, you know, long training sessions and meetings. And so we've just tried to give them exactly what we feel is necessary. And then also give them, you know, little blocks of time where they can go off and, you know, have a coffee and be together. But again, it's a unique window being so short. Uh, but the amazing thing is a short window, uh, and then an incredible game at the end of it. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, now we've seen some relative success with the U.S. men's national team in recent years, but really importantly for me as a supporter is to see the building blocks. Now, as part of this staff, how do you see us continue to grow and move forward? Where do you see this team going?
Well, I think we, you know, prior to this, you know, what the sort of change, I mean, Greg did a great job with the team. I think we have a good foundation. I think that shows in what the team did in the last cycle. I think we were proud after the World Cup. We believe in the way we're playing in terms of a team that wants to play good soccer. We want to be an attacking team. We want to be an aggressive team. We feel we have players that want to have the ball, want to attack, comfortable being on the ball, and then also collectively, you know, without the ball, I think we've shown that we can do a good job there, and we just want to continue building that. You know, we want to improve in the final third. We want to improve in areas where we can, you know, really get the most out of individual players and really recognize what the strengths of those guys are, and put them in positions to do well and do what they're best at.
It really is a great opportunity, isn't it, for so many players that might not get the chance when you have the European players available. You mentioned it's such a short window and there'll be so many different personnel when you do meet Mexico in the Nations League match. But are you tempted to hold anything back in tomorrow's game, knowing that you're going to meet Mexico again in just a few months' time?
Yeah, listen, it's a good question. And I don't want to, you know, we mentioned this yesterday. We talked about the next phase and what that looks like. But again, like I said, we don't want to look at what happened in the past. It means nothing. You know, we know with that comes, you know, somewhat of a target on your back, and we're going to embrace that. But that's done. It's in the past, and also what's in the future is really right now irrelevant. Obviously, as a staff, we're planning for that. But for right now, for this group, we have a good group in. All that matters is the players that are in this camp and focusing on making sure that when we get to the game tomorrow night, everyone's psychologically ready. We're clear on what we want to do, and we are well and truly up for the game.